Now, the Supreme Court is scheduled to pronounce a judgment on Wednesday, today, on a batch of petitions challenging the constitutionality of the special intensive revision exercise which kick-started in Bihar. The pleas have claimed that the Election Commission does not have the powers under Article 326 of the Constitution. The Representation of the People Act 1950 and the rules made under it to carry out SIR on such a larger forum. Another senior advocates Rakesh Dwivedi, Abhishek Manu Singhvi logged in virtually. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta has also reached the Supreme Court. These are the latest developments, viewers, and Rumi Mishra is joining me with the latest updates. Over to you, Rumi.
The special intensive revision of electoral rolls in the next 12 states and union territories is set to be carried out according to the June 24 order issued by the Election Commission of India. Certain modifications have been made to process the learnings that they have found in the previous exercise of the special intensive revision that had just concluded in Bihar. In a notice to the chief electoral officers of all 12 states, the ECI had stated that no documents were to be collected from electors during the enumeration phase. This was of course being done as it had been found in Bihar that a majority of people could be traced to electoral rolls of previous SIR or the chief election commissioner is what they had stated. The special intensive revision of the electoral rolls in Bihar has raised concerns about possible disenfranchisement of migrant voters in Bihar along with Uttar Pradesh. There is a key problem. There is a source of out-migrants there, and the people from these two states continue to relocate in large numbers to different states, which is why this mobility is very visible and very easily palpable across the country. This was very evident during the COVID-19 pandemic as well, even though there is little data to document it. So there's of course political ripple effects across India over SIR of Bihar's electoral rolls. Now the Supreme Court of India is scheduled to pronounce its judgment very shortly on a batch of petitions challenging the constitutionality of the special intensive revision exercise which kick-started in Bihar earlier in 2025. The pleas have claimed that the Election Commission does not have the powers under Article 326 of the Constitution, the Representation of People Act 1950 and the rules that have already been given out. We've also now learned that senior advocates Rakesh Dwivedi as well as Abhishek Manu Singhvi have logged in virtually. They are not going to be physically present in the Supreme Court as the hearing process continues. However, we also know that Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, who's of course going to also be present during the verdict, has reached the Supreme Court. In fact, Vaishali, in the latest developments that we are now getting, the bench is taking some mentioning matters first before they move to the special intensive revision exercise judgment. So yes, the Supreme Court bench right now is tending to some other matters right before they move to the SIR judgment. Yes, Vaishali.
All right, viewers, so of course we're getting you the latest update on this. The Supreme Court is scheduled to pronounce judgment today on a batch of petitions challenging the constitutionality of the special intensive revision exercise which has kick-started in Bihar. The pleas have claimed that the Election Commission does not have the powers under Article 326 of the Constitution. The Representation of the People's Act 1950 and the rule made under it to carry out SIR on such a larger form. Senior advocates, the latest developments, viewers, is as senior advocates Rakesh Dwivedi, Abhishek Manu Singhvi have logged in virtually, and Solicitor General Tushar Mehta has also just reached the Supreme Court. This is the latest update that we're sharing with you, and of course, we are going to update you as developments move in this case. But now I have senior advocate Mr. KC Kaushik, who's joining me on the broadcast. Mr. Kaushik, the Supreme Court is scheduled to pronounce the judgment on these batch of petitions which challenge the constitutionality of the SIR exercise. How do you see this proceeding?
देखिए, as far as the Supreme Court is concerned, Supreme Court is a final authority when constitution is by any party. Because system is like this, either the High Court has the power, the Supreme Court has the power as far as constitution is concerned. Since in the SIR case the constitution has been challenged, hopefully court will look into issue and take the appropriate decision on the subject to that extent.
Mr. Kaushik, the petitioners have cited Article 326 and the Representation of the People Act 1950. Now, how do these constitutional and statutory provisions figure in the dispute?
Okay, as far as everybody has a right to as far as challenge the constitution, either the section or the rules. Whenever any party is aggrieved on the basis of the documents and this legal provision, everybody has right to challenge. In that way, the petitioner has the right thing to challenge the constitutional validity of Article 326 to that extent.
Mr. Kaushik, now one of the major concerns raised is whether the SIR exercise indirectly turns the Election Commission into an authority deciding citizenship. Is that even a valid legal concern?
देखिए, as far as this Election Commission is concerned, the Election Commission has the ample power under the election law to that extent. But that has to be exercised on reasonable basis. If they are doing the on pick and choose basis as the petitioner are making allegations, when they are not giving the sufficient time while doing the exercise of SIR, so the petitioner has the right to challenge before the Supreme Court to that extent.
Mr. Kaushik, I'd request you to stay on with me. I have my colleague Sambhav Sharma joining me with the latest updates. Sambhav, what is happening there? What is the latest update you have?
Update is that all the senior advocates, including senior advocate Rakesh Trivedi, other senior advocates like Abhishek Manu Singhvi, they have joined, and also Solicitor General Tushar Mehta is present in court number 1, and judgment is likely any time. It is to be seen because the court is to pronounce the judgment as per the cause list on the batch of petitions challenging this special intensive revision conducted by the Election Commission, both not just in the state of Bihar but other states, including the state of West Bengal. And a lot of arguments were made in the Supreme Court challenging this particular exercise, saying that this will disenfranchise a large number of voters. However, Election Commission on the other hand has said continuously that under Article 324 and other articles of Indian Constitution like 326, they have the right to conduct such kind of exercises. A detailed hearing happened in the Supreme Court. Top Court reserved the judgment in January, and now it's the judgment day. It is to be seen what the Top Court says next, because the bench has already assembled and a judgment is likely any time from now.
Sambhav, stay on with me. Now, CJI Surikant stated the batch of petitions raises significant issues concerning the special intensive revision, especially the intensive revision directed by the Election Commission in Bihar. The challenge essentially arose from the decision of the Election Commission in the exercise of powers under Article 324 of the Constitution and Section 21(3) of the Representation of the People's Act 1950, directing the special intensive revision of electoral rolls in all assembly constituencies in the state of Bihar. It was decided to undertake the exercise because substantial changes in the electoral rolls had occurred on account of demographic variations, urbanization and large-scale migration. Therefore, viewers, in furtherance of the constitutional mandate to safeguard the integrity of the electoral process and ensure free and fair elections, the Commission resolved to undertake the nationwide SIR beginning with Bihar. Given that general elections to the Bihar Legislative Assembly were anticipated later in 2025. Rumi Mishra is joining me with the latest updates. Rumi, what can you tell us?
Well, Chief Justice of India Surya Kant has now started speaking on the verdict that is set to come any time now. The batch of petitions, he stated, raises significant issues concerning the SIR exercise, especially the intensive revision directed by the Election Commission in Bihar state. The challenge essentially arose from the decision of the ECI in exercise of powers under Article 324 of the Constitution as well as Section 21, subsection 3 of the Representation of the People Act 1950. He also stated that after reckoning the rival contentions from both sides and having traversed the sequence of events as they emerged, the submissions advanced on behalf of the parties as well as the material placed on record, and that the Supreme Court is of the considered view that the following issues require analysis. First issue that they have now spoken about is whether the Election Commission of India has the power to conduct an exercise such as the SIR. Second, whether the inquiry under the SIR is founded on a legitimate purpose, and if so, whether the measures adopted by the Election Commission are proportionate to the ends sought to be achieved. The third thing that the CGI has also spoken about is whether the procedure adopted by the Election Commission in conducting the inquiry under the Special Intensive Revision exercise is contrary or in violation of the provisions of the Representation of the People's Act in 1950. He also stated that a new and substantial contention was raised that the Election Commission is not empowered to verify the citizenship status of persons seeking inclusion or continuation in the electoral rolls. As regards the first issue, namely whether the Election Commission is empowered to conduct the SIR, the Supreme Court has now considered the rival contentions and now has proceeded to record the findings that they have found. The Supreme Court, having examined the statutory scheme and the relevant constitutional provisions, has stated that they now are going to proceed to answer the important questions formulated earlier by the Supreme Court itself, namely whether the impugned SIR is in direct conflict with the Representation of the People's Act 1950 and the rules framed thereunder, and whether it supplants the statutory framework governing revision of electoral rolls. Both these questions, in the CGI's view, must be answered in the negative. So now, Vaishali, the CGI has stated that this SIR is not in conflict with the Representation of People's Act in 1950 and the rules framed thereunder. Meanwhile, he has also stated that this SIR exercise in particular does not supplant the statutory framework governing revision of electoral rolls. Yes, Vaishali, major statements coming in from the Supreme Court. The CGI also stated that it was earlier decided to undertake this exercise because substantial changes in the electoral rolls had occurred on account of demographic variations, urbanization and large-scale migration. Therefore, in furtherance of the constitutional mandate to safeguard the integrity of the electoral process and ensure free and fair elections, the Commission resolved to undertake the nationwide SIR, beginning with Bihar. Of course, Vaishali, we know that Bihar went under a state assembly elections in November of 2025, which is why Bihar was the first state where the ECI decided to take the SIR exercise. Yes, Vaishali.
All right, I have Sambhav Sharma joining me with the latest updates as well. Sambhav, what can you tell us?
Well, the Supreme Court is passing this important, crucial judgment in the special intensive revision case, the certain petitions challenging the SIR case, and here the CJI Surya Kant is saying that substantial contention was raised that the Election Commission is not empowered to verify the citizenship status of the person seeking inclusion and the continuation of the electoral roll. And a detailed judgment is being passed as we speak. The CJI is further saying that we are equally satisfied that the object sought to be achieved by the SIR, Special Intensive Revision exercise, bears a direct nexus on the constitutional goal of free and fair elections. And also, CGI is emphasizing on this fact of free and fair election, the power and the ECI is responsible for, and the free and fair election is what CGI is saying. Do not rest merely upon the mechanism of polling. They fundamentally depend upon integrity, accuracy, credibility of the electoral roll, which forms the foundation of the democratic process. And also the CGI is saying the reasons recorded by the Commission, as in the Election Commission of India, namely the passage of more than 4 decades since the last intensive revision, large scale addition. This is what the CGI is saying: large scale addition and deletion over the years, rapid urbanization. These are the key factors CGI is noting: rapid urbanization, large number of addition and deletion, migration, and the resulting of the possibility of repetition and inaccuracies in the electoral roll are clearly directed towards preserving the foundational integrity. And further, the CGI is saying that we are unable to conclude that this particular exercise, the SIR exercise, is a process restored to solely administrative convenience. Here, this is again a very important point. CGI is saying that we are unable to conclude that this SIR exercise is a process restored to solely administrative convenience. And on the contrary, the CGI is saying further that we hold that the SIR exercise advances the constitutional imperative. So in a way, Supreme Court is upholding this SIR process and the power to the Election Commission of India for conducting this exercise. The CGI is saying we hold that the electoral SIR advances the constitutional imperative of free and fair election. Now, on other issues, CGI is saying whether the electoral SIR is founded on legitimate purpose. Now, again, another bone of contention raised by certain petitioners that whether the electoral SIR is founded on legitimate purpose or whether the measures adopted by the Election Commission satisfy the requirement of proportionality. We shall now proceed to examine the matter. And the CGI has further
All right,
said
Sambhav, stay on with me. Rumi Mishra is joining me with more details. Rumi, what can you tell us?
Yes, Vaishali, as my colleague Sambhav was right there pointing out that the Supreme Court has upheld the SIR exercise. Now, CJI Suryakant has stated that he is satisfied that the impugned exercise meets the requirement of proportionality. The measures adopted bear a reasonable nexus to the objectives sought to be achieved and are not manifestly excessive and are accompanied by sufficient procedural safeguards to prevent arbitrary exclusion. CJI Suryakant has also stated that in view of the foregoing analysis, the SC has told the impugned exercise was founded upon a legitimate and constitutionally grounded purpose, namely the restoration of accuracy, completeness and integrity of the electoral rolls. He has further told that having regard to the nature of the problem sought to be addressed, the scale of the exercise undertaken and the procedural safeguards incorporated during its implementation, the measures adopted by the Commission cannot be said to be disproportionate to the objectives sought to be achieved. So, major statement has now been made by the Chief Justice of India, Suryakant. He has stated that the impugned SIR exercise was founded upon a legitimate and constitutionally grounded purpose. The purpose of it was restoration of accuracy, completeness and integrity of the electoral rolls and nothing else. The Supreme Court has also now held that having regard to the nature of the problem sought to be addressed, the scale of this exercise undertaken, as well as the procedural safeguards incorporated and the measures adopted by the ECI cannot be stated to be disproportionate. So the Supreme Court right here has quashed all the allegations as put above by the petitioners. The CJI Suryakant has also stated that as noticed earlier, the principal objections urged by the petitioners were essentially threefold. He has listed these objections out as well. The first one being that the electors whose names are already entered in the electoral rolls are entitled to a presumption of citizenship, and such presumption cannot be displaced save in accordance with the procedure described by law. Secondly, this procedure contemplated under Rule 21, subsection 1 of the Registration of Electoral Rules 1960 had not been followed. Third, that the grounds prescribed by the Commission of Enumeration of Electors, especially the exclusion of previously accepted documents, were arbitrary and without reasonable justification. CJI Suryakant has also now stated that while analyzing these submissions, they've also extensively considered that decision of the court in Lal Babu Hussain case. Upon such consideration, the Supreme Court has also stated that, the verification exercise itself alters the requisite standard proof in a manner impermissible in law. Calling upon electors to furnish supporting material in the course of such an exercise does not amount to negation of presumption. That is what the CJI has stated. Rather, it reflects the procedural mechanism through which the Commission seeks to reaffirm or where necessary correct existing entries. The presumption continues to operate according to the CJI, but it does not negate the possibility of verification in such a case. So, the CJI has also called upon the electors to furnish supporting material in case this exercise does not amount to negation of presumptions. Yes, the CJI has also stated that in the Lal Babu Hussain case, this court did not hold the presumption attached to any entry in the electoral rolls is irrefutable. On the contrary, the very recognition of such a presumption implies that it may be displaced upon a proper and appropriate inquiry. Yes, Malvika, so major statements coming in from the Supreme Court itself, where CJI Suryakant has not